Exactly. Somewhere where you could like bounce ideas off of, where you're like, hey, like, so Jon Jones, 100K petitions. We don't know what he's gonna say. He could say anything.
Yeah.
You feel me? Shout out to I Am Saturday. We just started the live.
Oh, okay. Bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bang,
Bang
boom. That's
bang.
the East Coast homie.
The East Coast homie.
Yeah.
So that's East Coast meets West Coast.
I was gonna say, bro, I've been seeing the comments. All right.
Right. So should we start it off there? We were
I don't
texting a
know.
little bit.
You know what? I don't know, bro. We could maybe we'll leave that towards the end. Maybe every show. That's the how we end the show where we go
Yeah.
through the comments because they're clapping at us and I want to clap back, but I know there's a lot of other things to discuss.
Right. So I'm just confirming we're live now, which we are.
Okay.
So yeah, there are quite a few things to discuss on the agenda. Well, actually, not too many. To be honest with you, it's a light day. But mainly, we got BJ Penn, big development there. We're gonna spend some time on that one.
Okay. Okay.
And then we got Jon Jones, and then a few other like measly topics.
And we could also circle around UFC 316. I mean, it's a week, almost a week away.
We might as well, right? Since this weekend's card's kind of a
'Cause
dud.
I like this new Sean O'Malley.
You like him? Okay.
Yeah, I like this version. Like I said this before, get off the socials, dog. How
Mhm.
serious do you want to be a fucking legend?
Right.
Because to me, I didn't see that seriousness, and now I'm like, he's paused all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have my attention.
Definitely does. And he's one shot away in that fight from finishing it. Because he hurt Merab in that the fifth round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see. My homie, I just went to the gym with him yesterday, though. He told me he's not excited for that fight.
I think there's people are gonna be on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Kind of said I want to see what happens. I honestly do. I want to see what happens. That's why I'm gonna tune in.
I think as a diehard, I'm pretty excited for that one, just because, like, what you're saying, like what I'm saying, there are chances for both to win. Even though Merab kind of, like, kissed his back and all that weird shit in the first one, I think O'Malley is kind of getting underestimated going into this. That's what I'll say.
And I want to see, I want to see that serious version of Sean O'Malley because
Yeah.
if this serious version of Sean O'Malley, no social media, not smoking,
Mm-hmm.
laser focus, zoned in, and he does do something incredible and he knocks out Merab, people are gonna be like, okay, he's
Right.
back.
He's back, for sure.
Back.
Okay. So we'll get into that, but let's just start, I guess. I mean, the hottest news is BJ Penn right now.
Yeah.
We're getting all the developments on it. It's all basically, they have a court date set. So I can give you all of it if you'd like.
Well, yeah. What I have here is the bullet point. You said story hits boiling point. Mother granted restraining order.
Temporary.
Court date. So she put the restraining order on BJ Penn.
Right. A temporary one, I guess, while they go to court.
Honestly, I like this because now it's almost like, okay, well, we now know that it's his mom, right?
I
The
guess. I don't even know.
But the claims of like, hey, that's not my mom. I mean, a court is not going to accept a person that's not your mom in this instance, right? Like, we'll get all that cleared up.
Right. But what BJ says is it's identity theft. So I guess if you're an identity thief, right, if we're just trying to be as fair to BJ as possible here, if you're an identity thief, in theory you can get a restraining order.
Okay, no, I get that. But
Yeah.
if she's going, okay, here's the thing. If she's going to court acting like his mom, I'm ABC person, and she basically falsifies court documents under a different legal name, she
Right.
can go to jail for that.
Right. So you're going to kind of like give her the benefit of that there, which is fine.
No, what we're doing, not only that, what we're doing is we're finding out more truths.
Mm-hmm.
So if she goes to the court and she puts down the name of BJ Penn's mother,
Mm-hmm.
and then the attorney says, "Oh, whoa, that's not even her mom. Whoa, that's not even your name." Like all this is, we'll find out a lot more. But I think it's his mom though.
Yeah, you're right, because identity thieves do get caught.
Yeah, but you can't just go walk into court and be like, "Hey, I'm Jacob."
Yeah.
And the judge is like, "Okay."
The weird thing is that now I'm just saying everything BJ says because this is where I get caught up, right? Is like BJ says that basically the woman who's impersonating his mom is a federal agent. And so I guess these are things we can't really confirm or even really elaborate too heavily on. But to give the devil's advocate here, it's like, because you're saying, okay, it's fine because if it's just some shady woman who's impersonating as his mom, she'll get caught and go to jail. But then what BJ's going to say is like, well, she's a federal agent. This is all a government plot.
That's
And so we can't do much about that.
that's another crazy like part of the saga here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because then it doesn't matter. Like the government and everybody in Hawaii is in on it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So that's the alternative. That's what BJ thinks it is.
Yeah, see, I think it's so out there that I can't believe it.
Yeah. Now let me throw something else out there to you. A little backstory for everybody, right? So the mom filed the restraining order. For those who aren't aware and haven't been keeping up, she filed the restraining order because he's been arrested twice at their family home. I guess they live together or something like that. And the first time, BJ, her mail. She came home from vacation, right? Couldn't find her mail anywhere. BJ.
Her mail, okay.
Yeah, her mail. And she's like, BJ, where's my mail at? BJ goes, I don't know where your mail is. I haven't seen it anywhere. Boom. A couple hours later, the mom claims in the restraining order that she filed that she found BJ in the back of a car with one of his friends, probably that guy recording the video on Instagram. And she says that she saw envelopes with her name on it, meaning that's where her mail was. So she went into the car where BJ was with his friend and tried to get it. And BJ didn't allow her to get it and said like she doesn't know what she's talking about. And then she tried to call the cops or something like that. He took like a super bright LED flashlight and just blinded her.
That's crazy.
And that's the video. You can see the video on his Instagram too. But then...
Is that a newer one?
That's basically the one he posted last night, yeah.
Okay, last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that happened, I think everything settled down and he went into the house, right? And that's where the cops were called, and that's why they all showed up and arrested him the first time for harassing his family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that first video we saw, I think, like Sunday night, right?
Okay.
Or Monday night, he posted it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. And,
God, this is crazy what this is going through.
right, so... Again, all the cops come to the house.
Okay, I see. Imposer identifies 80-year-old my ass.
Play it with sound. Play it with sound real quick.
Okay.
She screams in that video saying, hit me, hit me. So she's okay, let me put this out there to you.
That's crazy.
Let me put this out there to you. Just a random thought. That is more aggressive than I have seen BJ in any video. That right there, how she's acting. Not saying it's fault, but that's more aggressive than BJ acted when he was getting arrested.
And the other video, who's in bed with all the cops?
That's BJ. Okay, so here, pause real quick, right? You saw that video with the flashlight, right?
Yes.
Okay, wait. Hear me out. You saw the video with the flashlight.
Yeah.
Then you saw the picture of him in bed with the cops. Him in bed with the cops, she called after the flashlight.
Okay.
So that's why the cops came.
It's just crazy that he's posting all this.
Yeah, and that's his friend who's recording it.
This is a crazy fucking saga novella.
Like, we need the whole documentary at this point.
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing.
Yeah. And it's God, it's honestly, bro, it's sad to watch.
Well, let me just say this other thing too. So
Yeah.
he got arrested, right? In that whole thing, you saw he got arrested, taken to court.
Waiting to go to court, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got released an hour later. He went back to his mom's house and took a few more things. Like, he busted open the back door, took a couple things, allegedly. His mom came down, he was already gone, and she found him on the security camera, like, running out the back door. So he went back to the house, right? And then he's on camera because they have the Ring doorbell. So then she just sent that back to the cops, and then the cops arrested him again for violating the orders. And so that's why she got granted a temporary restraining order, because of those two arrests that, like, did it. And now they have a court date set to where they're going to find out the answers to, you know, her being an identity thief, murdering his real mom and brothers, and all this kind of stuff.
It's a lot to unfold. What is your reaction?
Okay, so let me tell you this one, because okay, so when I saw BJ in bed, right, it's all by parcel. We're getting like parcels of this shit. So it's like I'm reacting to something, and then I see a complete other side of the story the next day. So it's hard to even react. But the first parcel, I'll give you my initial reactions. The first one I saw of him laying in bed, I'm thinking he doesn't look like he's on drugs. If you watch the video, he looks calm.
Yeah, he did look calm.
He didn't fight back with cops. I mean, I've seen sober people fight back more with cops than that. People are saying he's on meth and CTE, but if I'm believing my eyes, in that video alone, I didn't see a guy drugged out on meth or even like he might have smoked weed. He was calm.
He didn't look hysterical.
He wasn't drunk or anything. So when people are saying he's having a psychotic episode, and then I see 5 cops in his room and he's just calm, I don't think it's a psychotic episode. The other thing I'll say, because I can only piece things together. The other thing I'll say, somebody let those cops in BJ's house. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think his mom was at the residence at the time. To my knowledge, it was his friend and BJ's ex-girlfriend, who he's also claiming has stolen the identity of his brother's wives.
The sister? His ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, BJ's claiming his ex-girlfriend from high school has stolen the identity of both of his brother's wives. She was in the house, and she was on that video. You could hear her saying, "Where's your money, BJ? Where's your phone, BJ?"
Yeah, there was like a girl on that side, right? And then the cops on the other side.
So all I'm saying, if I were to listen to BJ, what he's saying, he thinks this woman, right, is impostering and stealing his brother's wife's identity. Now, the only thing that kind of makes it fishy is that she called the cops on him, and she somehow she got BJ to trust her to let him in his house. And then she let them in. So do you see what I'm trying to say? There's like a confusion there. The trustworthiness of letting somebody in your house means like you're letting someone get close in your inner circle, and then when they let the cops in, it's like they're against you.
Yeah, I mean,
so
honestly,
that seems odd to me.
It feels like people that are bipolar, or people that have dementia, or people that have like schizophrenia, like they're not all there. This dialogue in their mind is creating all these stories. I don't know, something's not adding up.
But okay, so hear me out on this. If you were at my house, right, and I let you in my house, let's say this whole episode that's going on, this is what I'm trying to say. This whole episode going on, I'm BJ, you're my friend. I let you in my house because I don't got very many people I could trust right now, right?
Okay.
I let you in. You're probably one of very few I could let in. And then I have an episode with my mom. Let's say I do have an episode with my mom.
And you guys are arguing and shit.
All that stuff happens just like I just told you.
Yeah.
Now, you, right, you're the only person basically in the world that I could talk to in this moment. You're going to let the cops in my house?
If I felt like it was protecting you, yes.
Okay.
But if I felt like if it was against you, no.
Okay. See, for me, I would say this. As long as you're not endangering me, like, and showing me signs of, like, you're putting me in danger, I'm not going to let the cops in.
True.
If you're showing, like, you're in the right state of mind and you're not threatening my well-being and you could talk to me normally, I'm not going to let the cops in. Also, I might just leave.
That's true. Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Instead of letting them in, I might wait for them to leave, and then I might just leave. And
not even answer the door.
Not answer the door.
Right.
So that's my thing, is there's a violation of trust, I feel like, for BJ.
Actually, I would, this is what I really do. I'd go to you and be like, hey, there's cops outside. Do you want me to let them in or not?
Exactly, right.
And that's exactly what I would do. Yeah. Now, if I felt like maybe there was a problem and I think somebody else needs to address it as a friend, I would say, yeah, let's come on in. But I felt like if I was protecting you and feel like, that they had no right to be there, I'd protect you and be like, nah, there's no reason for them to even to be here. Yeah. Like, they should walk up in the house.
I'll put it like this too. If BJ was foaming out of his mouth during that arrest, I'd say, okay, I can understand why they let him in. He was probably acting crazy beforehand. But the fact that he was calm and collected, I'm like, I can't imagine a scenario where you didn't just have a conversation and be like, should I let him in? And BJ's like, no, don't let him in. And then you still let him in.
Yeah. I can't imagine that. Yeah. Because then he'd be like, dude, what?
Well, I think that's where he was at. He's like, bro, what the fuck? You just let him in.
Oh, is that what he was trying to say?
Oh, I think that's what happened. That's what, okay. I can imagine a scenario like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Where basically he's saying, well, here's what I'm trying to say. He was calm.
He was calm.
So why wouldn't they have come to him and say, hey, do you want me to let these people in?
Right.
I feel like there was a violation of trust.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So they went against him a little bit there. I don't know though, because I don't know the whole backstory.
Yeah, this is a crazy ongoing saga.
It's crazy.
This reminds me of the craziness of that guy Diego Sanchez and his coach.
Mm-hmm.
You remember? You know what I'm talking about? The one that did like the.
I forget his name.
But you know, it was a crazy saga, right?
Yeah, I want to say his name's like Patrick or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some crazy shit. Where 99% of the people would want that guy fucking ended up like not living anymore.
Yeah.
But this is up there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is gonna be the dark side of the octagon cage fucking episode.
So we'll see. We need like a Netflix doc. We need something.
You need to become Viceland and say, hey, we're gonna go shoot it down there for you.
My thing too. I'm wondering what like the Hawaiians think. Like, are they with him? Are they against him? Like,
that's another great question.
You know, because he's like a hero there.
Yeah, that's another great question.
I wonder. What do you think Vaughn thinks, or like some of the fucking homies? You put it in the chat or anything like that?
You know, that's a good question. I don't think we've gone that far.
You haven't. Question. Okay. My biggest thing too was that.
I'm gonna bring it up though.
Okay. My biggest thing too is like I said, he has friends who come and surround themselves with him. You know, like Jon Jones was just there. Like, it just. I want to say this in a way. Maybe it's sick and twisted on both ends.
Maybe.
Like, maybe they are stealing shit from him, and maybe he is losing his mind a little bit over it.
It's a two toxic streets that are merging.
Yeah.
Maybe. Something's not adding up though.
It's not. And let me read you this too. So he said this, right? Where is it? Okay. So let me read this out to everybody, right? Penn has been following BJ's arrest. BJ accused his cousin Jade Miley Hanaoka, who he claims is a federal agent, of impersonating as his mother Lorraine, which I already said. He's also accusing his high school girlfriend, who was present during the arrest, of stealing his phone, cash, and flashlights. Give it to Hanaoka. After he was taken into custody. He's also alleging that she... Okay, so I kind of already told you that. I guess we can just move on. I guess we could just move on from it.
Yeah, I mean, this is another ongoing story, right?
Yeah. So that's all the developments for right now, I guess.
Yeah, I think this... I'm going to keep my eyes closer on this one now.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about this for...
months. Since the beginning.
Vaughn said this.
What did Vaughn say?
It's complicated.
It's complicated. You can't side with anybody. It's crazy.
It's complicated. True. I'm going to say true to that.
That's why we almost got to a standstill, because we just said everything out, but it's like we can't say anybody's right or wrong.
Dude, this is the craziest story I've ever heard.
Yeah. I'm
trying to think of one that could top it. Besides someone like not passing away, I mean, it's up there.
It's like a 2020. I'm telling you, and I said it before, right? We're just waiting on it to drop. We need a Netflix doc.
No, I'm gonna stay on closer to this one.
Okay. We'll monitor when the court date is. Should we pull it up real quick when the court date is, at least?
Yeah. You know what? And when they do go to court, I'm gonna try to pull some of the court documents. Vaughn may be able to help me with that.
Oh, the last thing I want to mention too. The restraining order is for extreme psychological abuse. So extreme psychological abuse, that's what she's citing. Let me throw the devil's advocate, as in like, a lot of these claims and stuff, it paints the perfect picture of what BJ also says is happening to him, if that makes sense to you.
It makes sense, yeah.
Like what? Like the playbook they're deploying on BJ. I feel like if what he was saying is true, that is the playbook to do it.
And okay, hear me out on this one too. If they are truly trying to, take his money, I mean, I guess that's right.
That's it.
This is a great playbook to use to be like, okay, if we make him look like he's insane, we're gonna be able to now get the right, and that's scandalous within itself too. Like all of this is scandalous.
Yeah, and there was I think this will wrap it up right here. I don't think the court date is on here, but let me say this to kind of conclude it. I was recently watching a Netflix documentary. It was of like basically a wife who was like a maid. She married into the family after the original wife passed away.
Oh boy.
So and there were kids involved with the past wife. The woman was really kind of like persistent about being the real mom after a while. And the relationship wasn't working out with the husband, right? So she knew that because she was just the stepmom, and if the husband were to divorce her, she's not the biological mom, so she has no custody, right? Because she's just the stepmom.
Right.
So what she started doing is doing hidden recordings in the house, started fucking bugging the house, and basically egging on the husband to act out and act erratically in front of his kids, right? Pitting him against his kids and against the wife, so that she could build up this whole like laundry list of evidence for when he
go to the court and say, hey,
when he divorces her.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like that's like thinking 3 steps ahead, and someone's done that, and that's a Netflix documentary. So like you have to understand, this guy that I'm talking about in this documentary, he felt like he was going crazy, but meanwhile his wife was behind the scenes manipulating every little encounter that they have, right. To make him feel like he's losing his mind. Like, for example,
remember the movie Gone Girl?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll give you one example. There's a thing in the recordings where basically he would say, don't get in between me and my kids. When I'm talking to my kids, don't tell them what to do. You know what I mean? Right. Because that's conflicting. And what he would do is he would be talking to the kids like about something. And then while he's talking, he'd be like, hey, go pick up your clothes. Like, go do this. The stepmom. And so that was one of those little things that she knew would piss him off. And then she would get that good reaction that she needs to build a case.
Right.
So these women do know how to push your buttons. That's why I have a hard time of just saying like BJ is completely guilty, he's having a psychotic episode, because I do feel like there are women out there who will intentionally push your buttons to manipulate the situation to make you do what they want you to do and get what they want ultimately.
But the only reason it's hard for me to decide that is just because it is his mom, I guess, and I don't know the relationship he has with this mom.
I thought it was a great one over all these years. That's what's crazy. He's always had this closest family.
See, that's what I mean. Like that's why something doesn't make sense.
It's complicated, like Vaughn said.
Something doesn't add up. I like his one answer though.
It's complicated. Like we can't really get too deep into it.
And we get that. He said, I support him. I think he needs good legal representation, but also needs mental health support. I think Penn is the type to think DNA tests are rigged. True. And the type to attempt to create an airtight argument for their crazy conspiracies. So he's going to be difficult to help, but arresting him for that bullshit raises red flags. Why is his family even around him if they feel threatened?
That's what I'm saying. Why were they in that house if you feel threatened?
Something is up with who owns what, and I feel they're probably living off BJ Penn's money. Okay, so that now we know what Vaughn thinks. Okay. Yeah.
Complicated, bro. BJ could have built up the businesses with his fight money, but it's under the parents' name. He feels like he has ownership, but it's under their name. We never know. I guess we'll find out. They got some court dates coming. Yeah, a lot of layers, a lot of and money's involved too. So that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't make anything easy. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you though, but another weird thing about his family, kind of weird. I'm pretty sure, like on paper, I want to say he said something before where like they all have the same name technically on their birth certificate, so that like they basically only have one health insurance. Aren't all the brothers named the same too, or no? Is that another family? No, that's what I think he's saying. Like I think BJ said this before, where his parents named all of his siblings the same name on their birth certificate. Right. So that they can only buy one health insurance, and then each of them gets a copy of the card. That's some ghetto ass shit. He's like, I'm BJ. We're all BJ. That's ghetto fabulous right there, bro. So his family, I'm just saying, like they've done some kind of weird shit, like where they finessed the system, if that's true. Like naming all your kids the same thing on paper just so you can fucking buy one health insurance and one car insurance.
Hey, when times are tough, bro, you gotta, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but that's that manipulation of the government, of that system that I'm
100%,
talking about.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see with them.
and Hawaii's grimy, you know what I mean? Like,
It's a corrupt state.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a corrupt state.
And if you're poor, you're poor.
Yeah, they got a lot of poor people over there too. And I think that's from the corruption in the government, to be honest with you.
A lot of different things, yeah.
Yeah, like they got a metro and shit that I think I heard about that doesn't even run, but they spent like 50 million, whatever million, 100 million.
That's
Crazy. Okay, Jon Jones.
All right, we've been cooked on this too.
Yeah. So
Okay, let me just start here.
mm-hmm.
They could get 1 billion signatures for the petition.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter. It's funny. I think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's funny. 100,000.
It is fucking hilarious. I love like checking it like when it reaches a new milestone so I could post it again. Like today was over 100,000.
I think that if I was the UFC, I would I'd ride with it. I'd use that momentum to sell the fight even more.
Yeah.
But what was the topic? Was that the topic, the petition?
Yeah, so the petition, I guess there's not much of the development. It is more so about us with the comment section, just to kind of give them a little response.
Yeah.
But I guess with the petition and the developments right now, let me just say this, right? I think the biggest thing. Okay, I'm about to go off on a tangent, I guess. Tom Aspinall. This guy, right? I mean, I told you. You sent me that little thing about his heavyweight news announcement. I told you exactly what it was going to be. 2 days later, it's exactly what it fucking was. The crazy thing to me, it's like Tom wants to come out and kill that news announcement the second he puts it out there. Like you didn't know what you were doing. You know what I mean? And the same thing is like, you can't just have a little bit of creativity. You can't just do a little skit or something like that. Like, you gotta troll the media into like this fake news announcement. Like, I even get that it's probably your sponsor and they're like, hey Tom, we got this good idea. Like, we're gonna give you a lot of money and this is the video idea we think we should do. You know? We're gonna do this whole hype machine behind it. I just don't appreciate it. And I never will. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. To troll the whole community about like this Jon Jones situation and use it to leverage your sponsorship. You already have a ton of eyes on you.
Mm-hmm.
You took the lowest possible hanging fruit, the least creativity. And I'm never gonna be about it. Like, I just hate to see it. I hate seeing everybody posting it. They all don't even know what they're doing. They're all doing exactly what that sponsor wanted, and so they're all laughing on the back end, counting their pockets, whatever dollars they may have made. You know what I mean?
Because everybody ran with it, right? Everybody ran with it.
And that's why I don't do it, because I'm not a fucking puppet media. Like, you're not gonna pull my strings. I'm not gonna make you money like that. That's not my job. And I see through it.
Yeah. No,
so that just pisses me off.
Right when I said it to you, you were like, he's trying to promote something. Watch.
And you know what Tom and the sponsor are doing? They're laughing at all the media who reposted it, who believed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Are they happy because they got the likes from it or something? Like, you 100%. You wasted 10 or 15 minutes of your day. You do that over the course of a year. How much fucking days have you just wasted? Fucking promoting somebody's sponsor.
And what was it? It
wasn't Gymshark, but it's some type of athletic wear company.
Okay.
Jon Jones did this last month.
Right.
I'm gonna remain the GOAT. The GOAT stays. Remains.
Right. Has Jon came out and said anything this week significant?
No. But here's what I would also say about Jon Jones. I don't think he has actually this whole week.
Okay, no, you're right. It was the 21st, so it's been a week.
What do you think? I got a question for you. What do you think of the fact that Ariel Helwani, the best in the game, right? And I'll even spoil this and say that Tom Aspinall is a reoccurring guest and Jon Jones refuses to go on a show. They don't like each other.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, when was the last time Jon Jones been on Ariel's show?
It was something of about Ariel's takes about Jon or something like that, and Jon didn't want to come back on. Long story short, what do you think about the best in the game, right? Calling for the fucking GOAT of a champion to get stripped within, it's only been 6 months.
Yeah, no, when we talked last week, and this has been a revolving conversation.
Yeah.
You did kind of switch your stance.
Yeah.
And you dropped that post, and I was like, and when you said that, I was like, okay, you know, you said if it wasn't booked in a week, I don't care anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we kind of, you took a step back, and even you sold me on the idea too. Like, it's only been 6 months. They're playing a game. This is a psychological digital warfare right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who can tick for tat, tick for tat, tick for tat, tick for tat. And you're right. If this has been going on a year and a half, conversation, yeah, what are we doing?
Right.
I think the 10 months.
Mm-hmm. Get the ball rolling around that time.
9-10 months, because then if you don't schedule it by the 9-month mark, give them 2 to 3 months to train, you're at that year. Then because if you wait another 3 months, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
The other thing I was thinking too is that what's the next big, like, how they had UFC 300?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next UFC 300? UFC 400?
I guess it would be International Fight Week this year, but
that's already passed, right?
Yeah. Or no, I mean, it's still coming up.
Or I think a lot of times the end of the year fights are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Last fight of the year. Like if they could schedule the last fight of the year
right before John Aspinall, December, end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big,
That's good.
So I think your original question was, how long should he wait?
No, more, or just like Ariel. Okay, let me say it bluntly. Ariel playing fucking dumb, acting like he doesn't know that the champion shouldn't be stripped within a 12-month time span, let alone 6 months. Like, as a journalist, the best in the game, to be calling for that at 6 months, I think you're creating a lot more confusion too.
Yeah.
You understand the game, but this is the same guy who puts on Sean Brady, who can't sell a fucking ticket to save his damn life, right? And says he should be the champion. When Dean Thomas, you might not have seen this, but Dean Thomas came out and said Movsar Evloev didn't get the title shot over Yair Rodriguez, and Ankalaev had to wait a fucking 2 years to get his title shot. You know why? Because they don't sell shit. The UFC doesn't want them to be champion. They don't care how many fights in a row they win. You're boring. Nobody wants to see you.
Right.
Same with Sean Brady. But what does Ariel do? He has his dumbass on. So it's like, Ariel, like, this is why I don't like Ariel. Like, he does shit like this, and then he wants to act like, oh, show business when it affects him and numbers and all this kind of stuff. But then, like, when nobody who does big numbers wants to come on your show, you just prop up the fucking people who don't do any numbers. And then same thing with Jon Jones. You know what I mean? Saying that thing about how Jon should be stripped already. No, he shouldn't, Ariel. And you should, as the best journalist in the game, you should be staying more on your morals than you are in your feelings.
Yeah, he dropped the petition, the petition post, and then the strip Jon Jones.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, Ariel likes to play this, like you said. Did you say dumb?
Yeah, playing like a dumbass, like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, he likes to be like, well, and then questions it, and then like throws it out there. I mean, and I saw him in Chael kind of going back and forth, and I honestly didn't like what he said about Chael either. But to strip Jon now, it's just because it has so much buzz around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know why I think, in my opinion, I'll say it. Like, I think Ariel always likes to be the good guy in the media. You know.
He wants to try to act like he's the good guy, but
he like goes with the comment section or something.
Yeah, but then too, like this is what he likes to play dumb. Like what you just said, he likes to play dumb. That's what gets on my nerves.
He's got like amnesia all of a sudden, doesn't know anything about show business.
Yeah, and it's the way he like prefaces things. Like he tries to be slick.
Yeah.
He tries to play dumb. He tries to like preface questions when he already knows the answers to them to try to get a reaction out of people.
See, like, of course I want you to call Ariel a dumbass, right? But I'm a real person. I'll say it first. You feel me? That's the difference. Is like I'll stand on it too, and you can say whatever you want to say. But like Ariel, he'll try to get you to say what he's thinking.
Right.
If he thinks you're a dumbass, he wants you to call him a dumbass. He doesn't want to be the one to say it.
And they're like, "Oh, I didn't say nothing."
Yeah,
you said it.
Like a fucking girl, dude.
That little bitch.
Yeah. So I don't appreciate how the best in the game doesn't say what we're saying, which is just simply put, the champion shouldn't be stripped. He's negotiating right now. And to be honest with you, if you actually want a more definitive answer to this whole thing, Tom should understand the fact that he's going to have to wait for another 3 months. I mean, it's super simple.
Did you see the video of Tom coming out like, "Hey, I don't know what I should do"? Like he was talking with his like mates in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I never know if he's trolling or not to get the fight though, you know, because like if he makes it seem like he's kind of getting tired, maybe Jon would take it sooner.
Okay, so let's do this. So, oh no.
Are you about to read comments? Let me say one more thing. You're about to read comments. Okay, let me say one other thing though.
They came out hot just with the first one.
Oh yeah, they came out hot. I was gonna say something. Fuck, I wish I could like rewind it live. Jon with the Tom. Okay, this is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If I was Tom, because I gave him a fucking suggestion the last time, right? Let me give him another suggestion, or just tell him how he should look at things, and basically to STFU, dude. Like STFU, it's super simple, and you bitching and moaning is just confusing everything. So let me say exactly what should happen. Tom should accept the fact that Jon is going to extend the negotiation to the last minute possible. Why wouldn't he? Just because he's a nice fucking guy? This is war. Like Jon, this like DC said on his YouTube channel, Jon could get knocked the fuck out, flat on his back. So what? He's going to give Tom 3 months out of the kindness of his heart? Just think about it. Like everybody doesn't think about these things. This is war. If he could extend it 3 months and have Tom 1% less than he is when he would have taken the fight 3 months prior, then he's going to take that advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jon is 37 years old, not 27 years old. So forcing a 37-year-old to return within 6 months is crazy work. On that alone, he's 37. The recovery time is not the same. You can't expect that from somebody that guy's age at heavyweight, you know what I mean, fighting for titles. On top of that, the UFC, right? They can't do anything about it because when has the UFC, right, in negotiations, when does the UFC out of the kindness of their heart do anything for anybody? You understand what I'm trying to say? The UFC saying, "Hey Jon, Tom's been on the shelf. Do us a solid in this negotiation." When does the UFC do that for people? It's always hardball with the UFC. It's always, we're going to give you the least amount of money possible. We're going to give you it's bang for your buck. You know what I mean? With the UFC in negotiations, but with Jon Jones and his career and his brain and his health, you know what I mean? It's not bang for your buck. We don't got the same negotiation tactic. So just understand that. The UFC will squeeze everything out of you in negotiations. They will get everything out of you that they possibly can. The only time somebody wins is when it's in Jon Jones' position right now.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. They never do it out of the kindness of their heart. Why would he? Why would he? Just because everybody wants him to. Oh, okay, I'll just do it because everybody wants me to. Everybody wants the UFC to pay athletes more money, right? Do they?
Nope.
Okay. So don't expect Jon to do anything out of the kindness of his heart for fucking them when they're still making him scrap for every dollar that he wants in this fight negotiation right here. Or actually he probably said the number, right? Ariel says that he imagines the UFC, Jon Jones gave him the number and the UFC said, "Okay, here you go." But think about it. How disingenuous. All these years I've been scraping and scrapping and begging for all my money, begging for all my contract upgrades, right? And now I finally got the fight that you want. I say a number and you say, "Okay." It's that easy? Fuck no. Fuck no, right. It's not that easy. If you said okay within 5 seconds, I want more money.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So that's where they're at. That's the part Ariel didn't tell you, is that the UFC said okay instantly, and then Jon said, "Fuck it, that's too easy. Double it." And that's where they're at right now. I bet you. That's where they're at.
Did you see that video circling around, recircling, where it says Dana White has some harsh words for Jon Jones avoiding the Tam Aspinall fight? You owe it to the fans, you owe it to the belt, and you owe it to this company. And they're playing the clip when St. Pierre versus Hendricks, like, I don't know, years
I've seen
ago.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I was
finish
like,
it, yeah.
because they were trying to force St. Pierre's hand, and they were saying at that time, let's see if I could get it.
No, you don't just say, hey, I'm going to take a while off. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe I won't. You owe it to the fans. You owe it to that belt. You owe it to this company. And
That's what he was saying about GSP.
To give him that opportunity to fight again. No.
Yeah, it was Hendricks versus John St. Pierre.
And now he's saying he's basically letting Jon just run wild with the belt.
Yeah, and the question is, too, is like, I think from the first, when he beat Stipe, that first night, he was already playing chess. At the press conference, he was playing chess. I love the diabolical psychological warfare he's playing. Like, it intrigues me. Like, I'd love to sit down with this man and be like, bro, how did you know at that press conference after Stipe to be like, no, I'm not fighting Tom Aspinall. Like, he's already planting the seeds fucking a nanosecond after winning.
Well, let me say this. It goes deeper than that. Even on Dana White's side. Everybody's been on Dana's ass saying he's glazing Jon Jones. He's glazing Jon Jones. He's on his dick, right? You know why that's been happening? Because Dana's also been negotiating behind the scenes too. Dana knows that, or Dana thought that if he sucked Jon's D enough, right, in the build up to the Stipe fight and just let Jon have everything he wanted, he thought that was his way of getting good favor, good faith from Jon, and basically making this negotiation easier. That's what Dana thought. So all that glazing, it's not because Dana even necessarily means it. It's because Dana knew, I got to glaze Jon right now because I actually want him to fight Tom after Stipe.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just know that everything you guys see as the viewers, you know what I mean? It's not what meets the eye. It's always a tactic behind it. There's always a reason behind something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, Dana likes Jon Jones. Jon can't do anything wrong. No. It's that Dana wants the Tom Aspinall fight and doesn't want to piss off Jon. And will do anything he can to keep Jon happy so that Jon will just say yes to the fight. And the crazy thing is, Dana kind of low-key, with that fight, he wants Jon to get knocked out. But he's going to praise Jon all the way up into it. But the backstory behind that is he wants Tom to knock out Jon. But he's going to sell you, because that way, when Jon retires, they have a new superstar. You've been hearing everybody asking the question, right? What happens when Jon and Tom fight and Jon beats Tom? Then what? Nothing. That's worst case scenario for the UFC. Because Jon's out in the sunset. Tom just fucking lost. Who you got? Cyril Gonzalez?
Right.
He ain't nobody anymore.
Right.
So this shit goes so deep, dude. It's like way deeper. Like you're saying, the night of negotiations, it was started there. But it was
really
started with. But Dana White was courting Jon way before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's all been a ploy this whole time. So, you know.
No, you're right, because it's like, okay, if he wins here, this is what we're going to do. If they do this, this is where we're going to go. This is where we're going to go. Like, it's all a chess move. Like, you can't play checkers in this game. And I think Tom's
three
smart
steps
enough.
ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Tom's smart enough to understand that and to play the game too. And I think that I think if Tom changes the narrative and he starts playing the psychological warfare too, it makes it so much even more intriguing. So this is a fascinating
saga.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say saga. This is a fascinating marketing ploy that we're seeing firsthand at a very high level between two very high level athletes and between the highest level, combat sports organization out there. It's almost, you got a guy playing chess here, you got a guy playing chess here, you got the organization that's throwing the chess game going back here. They're trying to get the best chess players to play each other right here when they've already been playing, and it's like they've been playing. You ever see those chess players that play multiple people at one time?
Yeah.
They're both doing that and trying to finally.
Dana's playing chess with Jon. He's playing chess with Tom.
Right, and they're playing chess with the fans. Because you got to rile the fans up, right? Got to stir that pot, get us all online, get us all interacting.
Jon's doing it the best.
He really is. No,
honestly, the way Tom is stirring up the fans, I get that he's doing it, but the way Tom does it is stupid to me. Can I tell you more, or you want to say something?
No, but I was gonna say Tom as well. He's not dumb. I'd like to see another level or another gear get turned up on his side. Kind of,
Can I say the gear I want to see turned up? Go.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to cut you off though. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The gear I want to see turned up, and it's too late now. It might not be too late, but
I don't think it's too late.
Okay,
You
let
can
me
still
say.
implement a lot of strategies right now.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, here's what I would like to see happen. Here's how you could turn it up, right? Instead of yapping on camera on YouTube, again, I don't like it because in my mind, I just think you're doing that because, again, you get a lot of views on YouTube, you're racking up the dollars from it, and again, you're playing the fucking media like puppets. You know what I mean? And it's all to grow your YouTube channel, which I don't fucking like. You're a fighter, right? I follow you for being a fighter. So let me say this. I think, Tom, it was wishful thinking to just go ahead and think, oh, I'm going to have a contract signed to fight Jon Jones inside 6 months of his last fight. That is literally retarded. Like, retarded to think that. Now, he already has blown past that opportunity, and what he should have done is he should have said, you know what? Jon just fought in November. I know he's going to push this to the end of the year. I'm not waiting. Give me a fight, and I'll be ready for Jon at the end of the year. That's what should have happened. That's the real talk. That's turning it up. Say, you know what? I know Jon's going to delay it, and I don't want to wait. Give me a fight. Let me stay ready. A tune-up fight, and then I'll fight Jon at the end of the year. You know what I mean? That's how you turn it up, Tom. You don't keep going on YouTube, giving everybody updates, acting like you're sick, acting like you're sorry, talking about your mental health. Shut the fuck up. Now his position, let me just finish. Now his position, you need to be quiet for the next 3 months and wait for that contract to come your way because you've squandered it already. You can't even go get another fight now. You know what I mean? It's too much time has passed. And you know what? Because you squandered it, I'll say this as the last thing. Jon might even extend this to like 14 months if he's that fucking evil. And he can. Because what's the UFC going to say? You've already waited 12 months. You can't wait 1 more month. You can't wait 2 more months. So watch this happen in January of next year. And I'll blame Tom for that. You know what I mean? Tom, you are a smart individual, Tom. I'm not calling you dumb, but to be honest, you are clueless with how to like leverage the media. You know what I mean? Like you got to learn how to leverage the media. And doing that stupid ass sponsorship just shows me you don't know shit.
He has to take control of the narrative. And I feel like what I just wrote down, this is the long game. And I think you're right. Tom should have realized that from jump start. His team, his manager, like
everybody.
Bro, yeah, this is where we're at. Now that we're seeing it how it plays out, because the levels of what their scheming is, right? You could take Jon's level of scheming for this long game. Tom who? Nah, he doesn't deserve to fight me. You disregard him. You throw him away. Like, bro, he's not even on my level. Why would I even fight him?
That's his responsibility to do that.
B, the next tier of that. Oh, I might just retire. I don't even know if I want to fight anymore. 3, oh, I'm gonna go shoot. Actually, I got another thing I got to go do. 4, maybe we when I come back, or not even like I may retire. Where Tom's one level has been making fun of him, doing a couple memes, now kind of coming back like, hey, what do I do here? Do I do a game like
following what the UFC tells him to do? The UFC told me to sit and wait, so I'm sitting and waiting. Is Jon Jones doing what the UFC tells him to do? He's not.
So let's stay ahead of this curve then. Let's play this out, right? Mm-hmm. So Jon Jones comes back. The next tier is what? The UFC's not giving me as much money as I want. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll make Tom wait again another 3 months. Because every phase of this, you could say, okay, it's a 1 to 2 month process.
Yeah.
Tom, and that's why I agree with you now that you bring that up. Tom's phase should have been like, okay, by the summer, I will fight again and I will be ready. I'm going to get more money and I'm going to keep proving myself. Mm-hmm. You know, where now he's kind of, now that that's out of the equation.
Now you got to wait.
Well, and now, or he needs to start that narrative like yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Like not even next week.
Right. Like
it's past the due date.
Like if he dropped that news, what he just did, he dropped it unless they have already agreed and they're making us all wait.
They haven't.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's going to be another 3 months of this. But in the
negotiations haven't even started, I don't think.
In the interim, the UFC, Dana's not going to force Jon's hand. Jon's going to keep playing this game. Tom's stuck in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Twiddling his thumb, like, what are we going to do? Where he needs, you're 100% right. He needs to change the narrative. He needs to call somebody out. If it's Cyril Gane or whoever's the Alexander, the Russian guy, the tall one. Volkov.
They were saying him. A lot of fans were commenting saying like, not Gane, Volkov. He deserves it more. So I'm like, yeah, fine. Bottom line, get it moving.
Like if I was Tom, I'd tag Volkov. I'd tag Cyril Gane. Who wants it?
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Tom can.
Jon who?
And if the UFC really wants to negotiate,
I start spelling Jon Jones' name wrong.
Yeah, seriously, shit like that.
I start saying Jonathan James.
Yeah.
Interim, and I would say he is the interim heavyweight champion.
Yeah, that's what Tom should be doing right now.
100%.
He should even be saying, Jon retired. I'm going to move on with my career.
You got me riled up now.
Yeah. Well, what Tom should be saying, like, with a dead serious face, is like, Jon retired. He announced it finally, so it's time I move on with my career.
Yeah.
It's just time. And just say it genuinely like you mean it.
And I would, and I'd even take it up another gear.
He ran away from me.
No. I'd have a meme walking with like a dead duck, like I'm skinning him.
Yeah.
Cutting off the head of the duck, eating them. Ducks for dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Whatever you want to do it, right? But
100%.
Like, I like how you're saying turn it up a notch. Like, because even like with that description, Tom ain't doing shit like that. You know what I mean? He's just, again, Tom's approach, I think, in my opinion right now, is he's acting sick on social media to make Jon feel like, oh, I'm going to take him now because he's compromised.
Yeah, and it's almost like this too. It's like, it's a rap battle when the other guy just like, oh, that's what Tom needs to do right now. He needs to clap back and make all the fans
get the
mic drop.
Because they're not. Yeah, they're not.
No.
All they're doing is posting about how he's suffering mentally.
Right. I mean, the fan base is still backing him. Like, hey, and they're picking sides.
Mm-hmm.
But the overall warfare, Jon is winning.
Jon's winning it.
Yeah, he's a general right now, and he's winning.
Directing the whole thing. Here's what I'll also say.
Yeah.
I think I've heard a lot of people saying Jon Jones, is he going to defend it? Is he not? Right? Here's my thing. I think it's also super simple. Again, people are making it way more complicated, especially Ariel, because I got this idea listening to Ariel's dumbass take. They say how, like, oh, Jon, he should retire. Like, why isn't he saying? Of course Jon's returning. Can I say that? Breaking news? Jon is returning to the UFC to fight Tom Aspinall. Or else, in my opinion, he would have announced he's retiring by now. That's just my take.
Oh no, he knows by doing this, by creating the drama, by creating the novella, by creating the
You're not going to do all this to not retire.
He's selling the fight, and he started selling the fight the night he beat Stipe.
Yeah.
He started that fucking night.
So he's selling right now. He's working right now. So everybody who thinks like, oh, is he going to retire? Go ahead and move on with Tom's career. No, but everybody should have read between the lines. You got to read between the lines.
And the only thing, and I said this last time, the only thing that could backfire on Jon is an injury. That's the only thing that could backfire.
It's the only thing.
Else, it's one thing, and everything else is there. Or him fucking getting in an accident or doing something he's done in the past, super stupid. Mm-hmm. Okay, the only people that are going to beat Jon are Jon.
Yeah. Seriously. And I guess maybe Tom Aspinall.
Stay off the gate. But don't drink and drive. Do all the healthy stuff. And don't get injured.
Mm-hmm. And also, you got to start making Jon chase you. This is the last thing I'll say about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get that Volkov fight going, right? Mm-hmm. And then, maybe Aspinall will be ready to fight in February or March or next year. When he's ready, though. When he's ready to return. Now, Aspinall's got all the hype.
Yeah, exactly. I need to take a break now.
So then it's like, oh, Jon's ready, but hey, I just fought, so Jon's going to have to fucking sign a contract somewhere in the middle, right? Where it works for both of us. Right now, it's all on Jon.
Right. He's holding all the cards.
And so really, the only way to gain power back if I was Aspinall is to fight Volkov. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, Tom got to take a page out of Donald Trump's book. I hold all the cards, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I hold all the cards.
Or sit quiet and wait for the fight to get announced and stop rage baiting to get views on YouTube. Because I'm tired of it, honestly. You've been doing it for months, dude. Like, find a new original way to get views on YouTube. How about you post your training footage? Fighters will do everything but post their training footage on YouTube. I swear to God.
That's crazy.
We got Corey Sandhagen acting like he's in the office. We got Tom Aspinall. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Did you see the story of Corey Sandhagen?
I did. I don't know if I believe it or not.
I don't know. What did that? Mike Perry? Was it Mike Perry?
He made like $3 million off OnlyFans in like a week or something.
Mike Perry was flabbergasted. He's like, hold up, what? He's like, what?
Yeah.
2 million? Anyway, that's a whole nother, like, we gotta.
That was crazy. I couldn't really. I don't know if I believe him or not.
Bro, you never know with fucking OnlyFans shit now, man.
But,
that shit.
Hey, that proves my point too. You could make that money just posting your training footage, bro. Like, people want to see that. People want to get motivated. The fitness. Think about the fitness influencers. They just post themselves benching and curling and fucking squatting. 100%. They're not fucking talking.
And not one athlete is doing. I saw actually Ilya Topuria. He dropped some footage.
Ilya drops a lot of training footage. When Max was getting ready for Ilya, he was posting a lot of training footage to the point where Ilya was making fun of the training footage he was dropping. Training footage goes a long way, but these guys will do everything but post that.
Yeah, I know it's interesting because you put the parallels together. Like, how is it that this fitness guy who wishes he could be the fucking UFC champion,
is getting like 100 or 1 million views per video of him just fucking squatting?
Right, and you don't have one.
Yeah,
and you're the champ.
Maybe it's because you're not that good at striking or something like that. I hate to say it. I hate to expose it. You know what I mean? And not to say Corey's not good at striking, but you know, you got to be like elite to get those views. And I think some of the UFC fighters, they're just not impressive in training.
I think they think it's boring, and so
Maybe.
that's why. But they need it's almost like a 4-tier prong, right? You add the skits, you have the training, you have the motivation, you have maybe some of your personal life, you know, leading up to the fights and stuff. And rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
It all draws attention to different aspects. They might see you working out, and then they're like, "Oh, let me hear what he has to say." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you got to do it all. Yeah, definitely. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, the OnlyFans pick in there, you know, put that in the rotation for all the bitches and shit.
Right.
You know,
mix it up.
If the girls can make the money off of it, hey, if Corey's had to make 2 mil,
shout out to Corey if that's true.
Hey, but more power to you, Playboy.
Yeah.
Mike Perry, I had to say Mike Perry. I had his Mike Perry was like, bro,
that was funny.
It was hilarious.
I don't know if they edited it. But I wish Corey would have been more like...
Yeah, he was a little like, yeah.
I wish he would have been like, let the cat out of the bag. Like, no, I'm being dead serious. I really did that. Like, I promise you. Or like, nah, I didn't do it.
I mean, I'm sure someone could go look up Corey Sandhagen's OnlyFans and find out.
Is that like public record? If he was like a top OnlyFans fucking person for the month? Well, top earner?
I mean, I'm assuming someone has to do is go to his OnlyFans page. I didn't even know he had OnlyFans page.
All the OnlyFans boys out there, find out if Corey Sandhagen was a top earner somewhere in the first quarter of 2025. Can we find that out?
All right. So just leading into this.
Yeah.
Jon Jones, Parry punch comments.
Sure. Yeah. I almost forgot all about that. We've been going so deep on Jon Jones. I was about to move on to the next topic. Let me pull him up too on YouTube.
Number 1 comment. Tell me you're a casual without saying you're a casual.
These guys just like fucking... It's funny because the casuals always say that.
I want to clap back. Like, what would be a good clap back, though?
Well, that's what my take off the bat is that's what the casuals always call me a casual. And what I say about this podcast, this is actually what I say.
I'm gonna just say casuals be casualing.
I'm not safe for casuals. I figured that out because NSFW, not safe for work.
Oh, okay.
I thought of that one day. I was like, not safe for work, not safe for casuals. Meaning like casuals being in my presence, it's not good for them. They're going to get really confused, really angry. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, no, you should strip Jon Jones and all this bullshit. So I'm not safe for casuals. You're calling me a casual, but I'm not safe for casuals.
All right,
so if you don't like me, you're probably a casual.
I just dropped that in the comment on that one. All right, so next one.
There you go.
Saying the interim should move on from waiting to fight the champion. Solid take there, guy. And I think that's more of a jab.
Saying the champion should move on from what?
Okay, so saying the interim should move on from wanting to fight the champion, period. Solid take there, guy.
Yeah. Oh, this is again what annoys me. These guys get so caught up on these things. Like you're getting so caught up about like an interim title that you can't even move past it. Like we're way past like anything on paper about being an interim champion. Like that doesn't matter. And you don't even have to type out every reply. We'll just talk about it on here too.
No, I think it's funny.
I know, but you don't have to do all those comments. You could do a few.
I think that's part of the show.
We're getting them on here. They'll watch, so you don't even have to text them.
Here's the next.
They're gonna fucking respond on this next clip we drop.
Yay! That was it.
Oh yeah, that. I don't got nothing for you.
Okay, bro, what an idiot.
I'm gonna pull up these comments myself. I'm gonna respond to some of the best ones.
Aspinall cleared out the division and even defended the interim title, which has never been done. He's now been inactive for over a year because Jones is fighting Stipe, who is 44 and way past the prime, coming off a brutal knockout 4 years ago, whilst still also being a firefighter. Jones is scared. Okay.
Yeah, well, my thing to that is, look, like that's great, dude. But
you
again,
responded to this one. Okay, you responded to this one. You said, what's that got to do with John? If Tom's tired of waiting, go fight. Nothing's stopping him. Oh, wait. I like that response. Okay. I like the clap back.
And yeah, and the oh wait part, I just left it like, if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, then shut the fuck up.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Nothing's stopping Tom unless, like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you think there is with the whole that's what I was trying to say. Nothing's stopping Tom. Oh wait, meaning like, you know what I mean? Unless you're bitch about the interim title and all that other stupid bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the only thing stopping him is your stupid ass fucking ideas. You guys are delaying his career.
So actually, it's okay. So fans are part of the problem here.
Definitely, dude. And he's fucking steering right into it.
L.
I see that one. L rage bait. Try again. I thought that was good. It ain't rage bait. It's my genuine thought. as you know.
You give him credit for that one. Okay.
Yeah.
You should fight Jon Jones' wife for the linear championship.
What was that?
You should fight Jon Jones' wife.
Oh.
For the linear championship. I actually like that one. Okay, I like that.
There's one right here. It says, "Oh, okay. Here's one that agrees with us."
Okay.
Let's give shine to the one that agrees with us.
I like the guy that don't agree, but okay.
No, but this guy also, and I'll say this, where I'll break the fucking fourth wall a little bit. You know what I mean? This is how you know that my take is good, that we're talking about the right things on the show, because you need people, when you have people debating whether or not you're right in the comments, all I gotta say is shout out to you boys.
Oh, the homies. They're the homies.
All I gotta say is shout out to you boys. You know what I mean? Let me know if I'm right in the comments. You know what I mean? You gotta debate that shit, but here, let me read this one out. Okay. It's actually a great comment. Jon Jones deserves the belt because of reparations. I'm sure Aspinall had more opportunities in his life, so it's only fair Tom moves on and fights another contender. There's nothing wrong with being an interim champion. Not many people can say this. Jon is just the greatest of all time, and in order to deserve a fight against him, you need an extraordinary resume.
Good point.
Someone says, that's an insane cope. And then someone said, Gerald, you're spastic.
That's insane cope. Okay, cope.
Coping. The only people who are coping are Tom Aspinall fans, though. Again, a lot of times the people who are hating in the comments are projecting like their real feelings. Like a Tom Aspinall fan is saying Jon Jones is coping, but the only person crying is fucking Aspinall being like, "Oh no, it's still okay. I'll be okay eventually." That's a cope right there. Jon Jones saying, "I don't need Tom." That ain't no cope. He doesn't need Tom. It's a fact.
Yeah.
That was one you said, the solid take guy saying a trim should move on, right? You said, doesn't matter, homie. Let me see. Oh, that was one. Tell me you're casual without saying you're casual. Not safe. That was about it, right?
Yeah, that was it. That was fun, though.
Call me retarded.
I want to start doing that more often.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the Instagram ones, too, but it's a different...
That's another ball game.
Yeah, it is another ball game.
That was fun. That was fun with the Jon Jones. Oh, for the record, 17 dislikes, 5 likes on it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good.
For the record.
For the record. All right, let me see. Let me pull up another. Oh, okay. I don't even need to pull it up. SD Dumas, bro. He was held on $500,000 bond. He's out.
Saw that.
Out on bail. SD Dumas is free. I don't know how he paid 500 bands. You said you got to pay half of that or something?
No, you got to pay 10%. So that's what?
Oh, that's like 50,000.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
I mean, that's something.
It's something, but I feel like if in that world, it's nothing.
I don't know. I mean, 50,000. You probably put up collateral, like maybe your house,
Something.
car, something where like you could pay a portion of that. I don't know, bro. 50 grand's 50 grand.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people. Even a fighters, not all these fighters have 50 grand just right there.
Now I feel like he probably doesn't have it like right there, but maybe like the bondsman is willing to give that out more than like a $500,000 type thing.
Well, I mean, it's automatic 10% to bond out.
Yeah.
And so from that, you could go put collateral like your house. You give them the title of your house.
Yeah.
And if you rescind on that, the title's theirs.
Your car or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So they probably refinanced something like that.
Something happened because he was in jail. I mean, usually you could bond out right after you get the court date.
He was there for a few weeks. They're figuring it out.
You see the Tory Lanez video?
I did. It was kind of brutal.
That's brutal. Yeah.
I like winced a little bit when I watched it. Like, oof.
Oh, bro, he was on him.
Yeah.
On him.
With SD though, I messaged him.
What'd he say?
I said, glad to see you're out, bro. You know what I mean? Because I don't, based off what I've heard, jail isn't a place for no man, especially a man who's, it's not like SD's trying to be a criminal. He's just getting in the wrong situations.
Yeah.
So I was
100%.
like, I'm glad you're out. Sorry that all that stuff happened to you. And then he said like, me too, bro. And then I think he said like, it's all good. So, little message from SD there.
Yeah, and I think too, he probably knows, hey, I put myself in this position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably like, fuck,
No one to blame, right? But yourself in situations like that.
Yeah, and it's like, he's probably thinking I should have handled the situation better. Probably shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have had the strap. Hindsight's 20/20, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just when you've done it so many times and you've been caught up so many times, it's like, oh, come on, dude. Like you do got to be smarter than that, though.
You think the UFC will keep him? Because I think that's like the top comment. People being like,
I forgot. Did he win?
He's still in the UFC.
Did he win his last fight or did he lose it?
He lost it, but he won the one before that.
Yeah, he's been up and down.
He's kind of like 500. He wins one, lose one, wins one, lose one.
He's not even ranked. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know what his fight contract is left.
Mm-hmm. Depending how many more fights he's got left on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
UFC scandalous.
I feel like they might re-sign him. I was saying to Joaquin, like,
are they boys? I saw that video.
Yeah, they're not boys, but they're brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess he was saying like brothers as in like black guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like teammates or anything like that. Just want to clarify.
All right. That's what I thought. I thought.
So they got that connection, but he was saying, or I was telling Joaquin like, man, like when you like leave the UFC, like I was saying to you in one of the podcasts, where do you go from here? It's so hard to make it in life. So hopefully SD can figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't got much for him though. You might have heard I was like, maybe we could start a podcast or something. I don't know. That's like the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can just get through this legal battle and keep himself out of trouble.
Yeah, and hopefully stay in the UFC.
Hopefully stay in the UFC. Yeah, I mean, you got to get yourself out of toxic situations, And it's interesting too. I was watching the Nick Diaz clip, about him wanting to fight and seeing people's comments too, and it's kind of like it goes back to what we were talking about. A lot of these fighters is like, Nick almost is like, I don't want to see Nick fight no more.
I'm over it.
I mean, it's not even over it, bro. It's just almost like, okay, what's the next stage of your career? What's the next stage of this? You're chasing Conor McGregor. You're chasing these.
Nick or Nate?
Was it Nate? I thought it was Nick.
I think it was Nate.
Nick's the older one, right?
Nick's the older one.
But Nick was the one you had the video of last time. Nate was on the podcast saying that. But I mean, okay, so where are you at with Nate?
I'll watch him.
See, but I mean, what are we doing it for though?
Not much.
Is he making another run?
No.
I mean, so like it's almost like, okay, Ian Gary right now and Joaquin Buckley right now, they have this window, right?
Mm-hmm.
A window to shine. Nate's window's done closed. You had all your moments to shine. All that light was on you.
He's only
And
got a couple fights to return to, like the McGregor one or something like that. He's only got a couple.
even if you told me, oh, him and Greg are gonna be lining up, cool. I'm not excited.
Okay, let me throw you something that's gonna sound crazy.
Okay.
Justin Gaethje versus Nate Diaz.
I could care less about it.
I think Nate Diaz might beat Gaethje.
Maybe he does. Then what are we doing? Is Nate going on a title run now? Is he now getting ranked? Is he now?
He might, if that happens. But no, there's not much to it. But here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Maybe you got to realize about Nate, because then you'll understand my perspective a little bit. Nate's a guy like title contention. That ain't Nate. He's like in his own league. So it's just you only watch Nate for like the fights. You don't watch him to invest in like his title run or anything like that. Never.
I get, but Nate's 40 now.
Old.
How old is Donald Cerrone?
I don't know, around there. Older,
Right?
probably.
You know Alexa's not gonna get this right. Hold
Yeah,
on.
she's not gonna get that right.
Alexa, how old is Donald Cerrone?
Donald Cerrone is 42 years old.
Damn,
Okay, so
she
he's a
got it. Okay.
Hey, you're 1 for 5,
Yeah.
bitch. So I mean, he's a couple years older, but that goes with Nate. It's like we're on the back nine here.
Mm-hmm.
As fans, it's like what else are we doing with your life? You know what I mean? Like let's what is next though in your career?
Right.
Because we're still chasing these. Goes back to the conversation we had about all these other guys. You know, like I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him get damaged. I don't need to see him fight anymore. He had a shine. I was just watching. Have you seen that? The 100-foot wave on HBO. Did I bring that up to you yet?
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
You know surfers though.
Yeah.
So there's off the beach of Portugal. It's an HBO documentary where there's a 100-foot wave. Garrett McCannarin, I forgot his name. He's a really like a legend. McNamara. McNamara. You ever heard of him?
No, never heard
Yeah.
of him. Yeah.
One of the best big wave surfers in the world.
Okay.
Top 10. But he's already like 45, 50. He has multiple concussions. The young guys are out there hitting the waves, and his wife's like, what is it going to take where your kids don't even have a father anymore? It's the same, it's a different world, but same conversation. What is he chasing?
Yeah.
He thought he had his family. What did we were talking about last week? Happiness. Him having his 2 girls and raising his daughter doesn't fulfill him.
No.
But chasing that one last 100-foot wave, that's what he keeps chasing. But you got to get to a point in your career where it's like, I've done as much as I can, and I got to ride off on the sunset. I got to find happiness within me and peace and with your family. Maybe it's teaching other people. Maybe even with these fighters. Maybe it's helping these next wave, because then you're still at least in the sport. You know, maybe it's that, but a lot of these guys in multiple areas of different sports. I'm bringing up surfing. You know,
Yeah.
that's just dangerous, bro. 100-foot wave. The one of the guys just died out there too, who was another legend. You would think a legend goes out there, and the undertow took him, bro, and fucking he never was able to catch it.
Yeah. I think that's like on a case by case basis. I wouldn't even say it's like, I guess, financial, because I know Nate Diaz is well off. You know, I think you just got to focus on like what you can do after fighting. You know.
Yeah.
And some guys, I think, maybe like you're saying, you know, you don't get fulfilled being at home, which I can kind of relate to that. Like I don't think I'm like, not to say I'm not gonna be a family man, but like I don't know like how much like fun I will have just like being with like, you know, like in a hypothetical of retiring from the UFC aspect, right? If I had nothing else to do, just retire from the UFC at like 35, 40, and then just like kick it with my wife and kids all day, every day. Like I don't know how happy I would be.
But yeah, but that's why you still have to you find other areas of your life.
That's what they got to find. They got to set that up after the UFC. Like, what can you do? Like how Rampage Jackson's been podcasting.
Yeah, and even Rampage said, I wish I would have done this before, because he has such a personality.
Yeah, Bisping in DC, commentating.
Because you have to understand, you're not going to... Michael Jordan didn't do it forever. Kobe didn't do it forever. You know, you have a shelf life of where your greatness you're going to peak at. You ever watch it Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
All right, well, there's an episode where he goes, "You're peaked." He goes, "I haven't begun to peak." And that's a lot of these fighters.
Yeah, you think they're just getting started.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got another run in me, bro.
Gilbert Burns, before he lost, you know what I mean, was like that.
Because you're competitive, right? And you still want to be able to prove to yourself that you could do it at the highest level. Like you said, every situation is different. It could be money, your identity. If that's all you identify towards, like, I'm a fighter, I don't know what else to do. Like, what else do I do now? You know, that's your whole identity. I'm a dad, but that's not my identity, you know. But that's where I think too, a lot of these guys, I think if they open up a gym, they're able to maybe release some of that energy back into helping another generation grow up, and then you can still make a business out of it.
Definitely, business is probably the best way to move on to that next venture of your life. If you're in the UFC.
Here's my thing is, bro, then what we see is we see these guys go into these other organizations that aren't the highest level. And I'm like, I don't need to see you in this other organization. Honestly, I don't.
Right. I think also almost like YouTube might be one of like the worst ways for them to set up their future.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do that, you know, you need to have like it goes like, let's say Sean O'Malley, right? Mm-hmm. Sean O'Malley is making what from the UFC, and what do you think in YouTube?
More from the UFC.
Bro, my hand's so low because you're a multi-millionaire being in the UFC. Mm-hmm. Sponsorships, just a sponsorship, you know?
Yeah.
So that's not paying his bills, bro. That's just for fun. That's why I like him getting so serious right now. Like,
right.
Man,
but my thing too is like media is a crazy game, right? Where it's like it's locked in, you know, it's 24/7, like it's on top of it. And if you know, if you're just gonna be creating a YouTube channel and then like once you retire you don't want to talk about the fight game anymore and all that kind of stuff, you wasted your time. You should have been working on starting a hot sauce business like Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. Well.
So that's why I think some fighters, they're wasting their time on YouTube. You know, YouTube, like because you know, like me, right? I look at them and I'm like, sure, you get the views because of your name right now, but I'm telling you, like, you're not like me in this. Like, you're not like, you know, like this is an everyday only thing for me, you know. And I think for some UFC fighters, they see YouTube as like an easy way to capitalize on their name in that moment. But again, don't set the bar so low. Don't go for that easy thing, you know. Go for something a little bit, you know, more. I think you'll be more fulfilled too. Yeah. Because I'm telling you what, starting a YouTube channel as me versus starting a YouTube channel as a UFC fighter is night and day.
True.
That kid, Malcolm Wellmaker, you know who I'm talking about, right? Mm. The black kid who just had that crazy knockout, who you said was like a plumber, or not a plumber.
Oh, yeah.
A welder.
Yeah.
He just made a YouTube video, right? I bet you he's got a lot of views and likes on that. It's his first video. That's what I'm trying to say. It's way easier to start a YouTube channel as a fighter than me. But it's too easy. It's too easy. You're not going to learn as much. It's too easy. Trust me.
Yeah, and it's not, that's not your bread and butter.
It's not your bread and butter. It's like you're just but again, you're getting into it because it's easy.
Yeah. And it's a template, right? You're a UFC fighter, build your social media brand. You know, that's probably like hey,
it is to build social media, but not YouTube. You know, the YouTube is like another beast.
It can't. Yeah.
But if you are doing it good, you know, shout out to you. But like last example I'll say about it, I guess, is like Paddy Pimblett, right? He's got his YouTube channel and stuff, and that's cool. But that's not like a career after fighting. Volkanovski with the Cooking with Volk, see, he puts more thought behind it. That's like a transition. I'm gonna transition to cooking. That's something.
And it's entertaining.
Yeah. The people who just react to fights and stuff like that, like Izzy even, when Izzy's retired, he's not going to be sitting on his couch reacting to the fight night. He's over it. He's out of the game. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to create something where it's not like once you retire, you're just going to stop creating content, because then you're where you started off, having nothing to do, right? Just being a family man, not being fulfilled.
And Volkanovski, he's tapping into a whole nother market, so he could get followers that love food, that love his entertainment side of it, that love the reaction of what he does, that are like, oh, and he's a UFC fighter?
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know,
people don't even know he's a UFC fighter.
Yeah, they're tapping into a whole, oh, he's a champion?
Yeah.
Then you get credibility, like, oh, shit, wow, he's doing this? You're getting a whole new audience. It's like almost like a Top Chef, right?
Definitely.
every industry has its own subculture. He's tapping into a whole nother subculture that has something to do with entertainment, which is smart because it is entertaining. I watched a couple of them. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of fun. I like this.
Right. So I will leave that caveat. I'm mostly talking about the fighters who like go on YouTube and then just like react to fights and react to the fight game.
Well, honestly, I can't name one that I have.
That you watched? Yeah. Because it's not, we don't, yeah, that's not what we're here for you guys for.
We're not gravitating towards that, no.
Yeah. But Volk, shout out to Volk. That's a good little method.
The retired ones, yes.
Yeah.
Retired ones, yes. Rampage, Chael,
Definitely.
Bisbing, DC. Who am I missing out? Who are the top ones?
Like a Dominic Cruz, I guess, but he's not around too much. Paul Felder.
Demetrius.
Yeah, DJ.
Yeah,
so you can do it. I think you can do media. But, okay, also why I don't like fighters doing it while they're fighting is, I've said it to you before, it's too fickle. When you win and you lose, you're also getting a lot of shit. Like, you can't share your real opinion as a fighter in the UFC on YouTube because when you lose, you can't talk about another fighter negatively because they're just going to tell you got your ass knocked out in your last fight.
Yeah.
And then that messes with you psychologically, you know. Best believe that adds pressure when you walk in the octagon and everybody on YouTube been saying you got knocked out in your last fight.
Let's use it like this. It's almost...
But it's your job to give takes. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so perfect example. Michael Parsons. You know who Michael Parsons is?
Football player. One
of the top defensive defensive backs in the game. Dallas Cowboys. So he has a podcast. He gets roasted every time they fucking lose. What's the goal? Is it to become a champion, a Super Bowl champion, or is it to become a Super Bowl podcaster? He goes back and forth like, well, I can do both. And then he took a break because they lost a few games. They missed the playoffs. He put a pause on it, kind of what Sean O'Malley did right now. Right. Because at that prime of your career, and don't get me wrong, he gets a lot of views, bro. He does.
Yeah, so does Sean.
Right.
But that's not where the ball ends. That's not where the stick ends.
And that's not their goal.
No.
At this moment in their life, right? At this moment. And I see what a lot of basketball players do, a lot of NFL players do. What they'll do is in the off season is they'll be like a guest host. And it is intriguing, like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Oh, I see his take. But the reason why, like, let's say Tom Brady right now, after his career, is now an NFL commentator on Fox, getting paid millions. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Why are they listening to him? Because Tom Brady has the most champions in all of NFL history. Credible, certified. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? And he's done it at the ultimate level. And he didn't wait. There's a great quote. One of the guys said, he goes, well, I want to have fun with the boys. And you know what Tom said? I wanted to get Super Bowls. You're over there having fun. I'm trying to win champion. There's the two different mindsets.
Definitely.
And so I think that the long game was Tom was able to then go get $100 million from Fox. Tom don't even need to create a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He got paid like that, bro.
Right.
Top.
You're better off dedicating yourself mostly to your craft.
And then after you retire, and
then the media is a good space to be in. But when you're in the mix of it and you're winning and losing, you don't want to be in the mix of the media because you're in it. You're the headline too.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
It's it's actually a really good conversation because even with the NFL season now about to go in and all training camps about to start, NBA playoffs are on right now. All the guys that are sitting at home. The question I've always had, and that's why probably I gave Sean O'Malley such a hard time, is like, and a lot of fighters, any athletes, like, what are we really doing here? Honestly, what are we really doing?
What's the goal?
Yeah.
And Sean realized, right? What am I doing? I don't need to subject myself to this. I got my bread and butter. I'll do this when I'm done.
I like the Tim Welch quote. I like what he said. Like, hey, he said he put everything to pause, and I like the dedication. I like the refocus. I like that more. Sean just completely quit the weed and completely got off Instagram, got off Snapchat, got off X. Now he's not thinking about that kind of stuff at all, and I think has a lot more at peace, ready to fight.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right, that's probably a good place to end it right there. Shout out to Sean O'Malley versus Merab. After that fight card, we're on to greener pastures. We got Buck versus Usman.
And illegal card 2's fucking stacked.
Yeah. 2 more weeks and we're on to the greener pastures. The Great Depression is over.
Oh, this weekend. Oof.
Yeah. Honestly, Buckley Usman, the card's not that good if I'm being dead honest. But Usman Buckley has enough magnitude to have it's a very exciting fight, you know.
100%. 100%.
So shout out to those guys. Shout out to O'Malley and Merab. You know, I think Merab might get it done without a pinky toe, but I could see O'Malley actually knocking him out. A little spoiler alert. Yeah, I could see it. All right, we'll end the stream. Shout out, boys.